The instantly legendary television series Succession by HBO weaves a captivating tale of the old money and new money American aristocracy that casts a light upon the secret inner workings of wealthy families, providing a unique opportunity to peer behind the curtain of the global media elite. Succession allows us to glean valuable insights into the intricate relationships and power dynamics that define the upper echelons of society. With this in mind, in today's video at Old Money Luxury, we shall explore the real-life media dynasties that have directly inspired the series. Now, if you would be so kind as to lean back in that armchair in Connor's newly acquired $60 million apartment he sneaked in from Marsha, then dance your finger across the like button as we begin our journey and explore the real-life old money families of Succession. In the realm of the Roy family, quite naturally, the most pronounced similarity lies in the real-life tales of the Murdoch family. The elaborate choreography of power that permeates Succession finds its unmistakable counterpart in the narrative of Rupert Murdoch's dynasty. Both families feature an aging patriarch who tenaciously clings to his company far beyond the customary age of retirement. Murdoch, at 92, reclaimed the chairman's seat at Fox News, mirroring Logan's insatiable need for control. After the departure of the late Roger Ailes, and now presides over the Fox Corporation as chairman. If we were to draw direct parallels, Shiv Roy could be seen as an amalgamation of Murdoch's two daughters. His eldest child, Prudence, affectionately known as Prue, shares the nickname similarity to Shiv, yet her actual life story aligns more with Connor, bearing the title of the eldest child, but never showing strong interest in running the family business. Murdoch's other daughter, Elizabeth, the only daughter of his second marriage, is reportedly very savvy, very cunning, and perhaps the most like Rupert. However, much like Shiv's arc, Rupert Murdoch has been dismissive of her attempts to ascend to the family's media throne. Her heavily liberal political affiliations have reportedly led to family tensions, further mirroring Shiv's character. As for Murdoch's sons, Lachlan Murdoch, the eldest son of a media tycoon, bears a striking resemblance to Kendall Roy, played by Jeremy Strong in the show. Lachlan serves in multiple influential positions within the Murdoch empire, including co-chairman of News Corp and CEO of the Fox Corporation. Though he has been involved in the family business since 18, Lachlan took a hiatus from News Corp, potentially inspiring Kendall's departure from Waystar. While Lachlan has not waged an aggressive war against his father like Kendall Roy, he remains an obvious inspiration for the character. Often presumed the heir apparent, Lachlan faces stiff competition from younger siblings, much like Kendall. Now, James Murdoch, akin to Kieran Culkin's Roman Roy, is a younger sibling with a history of rebelliousness and controversy. James was entangled in the largest misstep in Murdoch family history, the News International phone hacking scandal. His perceived lack of concern for misconduct at the newspapers he oversaw led to harsh criticism, hurting his chances of succeeding his father. Although Roman is considered an outsider for embracing unorthodox, anti-establishment perspectives, as demonstrated by his support for a right-wing, Trump-like presidential candidate, James is rebellious due to his centrist or liberal political views. He and his wife were prominent Joe Biden supporters in the 2020 presidential bid. Both Roman and James share the wild child trait, potentially jeopardizing their chances of reigning over their father's empire. As for Connor, his real-life archetypes are explored more in depth in our video, Succession, Old Money versus New Money Explained on TV, which you can view by clicking on the top right corner of the screen or visiting the video description. Indeed, the creators of the show have openly acknowledged the influence of media mogul Rupert Murdoch and his heirs on the crafting of the fictional Roy family. The Murdochs' sprawling media empire has navigated the treacherous waters of Succession, creating a legacy that continues to shape the world. The Sulzberger family, while sharing certain similarities with the Roys, bears an even more striking resemblance to the Pierces, a topic we shall explore shortly. The New York Times, the bastion of journalism helmed by the family for generations, has seen its fair share of succession drama as power has been passed down from one generation to the next. Arthur A.G. Sulzberger, the fourth Arthur Sulzberger, to hold the position of publisher, is a clear indication that this family has dealt with succession planning over the years. Similarly, Season 2 of Succession introduced a plotline in which Logan Roy planned to acquire a media company controlled by the Pierce family, which re-emerged in the final season. If we compare other major media families, just like the Roys, the Redstones have controlled a media conglomerate that encompasses giants such as Viacom, and their own succession narrative has been fraught with twists and turns, with Sherry Redstone, the daughter of the late patriarch Sumner Redstone, embroiled in a legal battle to maintain control of the family's empire. Of course, due to a recent, unfortunately horrifying resurrection of the Maxwell name, the 1980s media titan Robert Maxwell family's story echoes the Roy's tale as bit as well, with some obvious important exceptions. British publishing magnate Robert Maxwell constructed a newspaper empire that encompassed the likes of the New York Daily News and myriad British household name media properties. His sons Ian and Kevin Maxwell worked for the family company, as did his daughter Ghislaine. Going further back in time, the Hearst family's threads in the grand tapestry of succession weave a pattern similar to the Roys. Newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst saw each of his 5 sons follow in his footsteps, ensuring the family's continued dominance in the world of media and journalism. Lastly, the spirit of the Roy family patriarch, Logan Roy, also finds its inspiration in the persona of the legendary industrialist Andrew Carnegie. Brian Cox, the actor who embodies Logan Roy, has remarked upon the similarities between the two figures, both of whom rose from humble beginnings to amass immense fortunes. Yet despite their wealth and philanthropy, a darker side lurked beneath the surface. Carnegie's exploitative practices toward his workers cast a long shadow over his legacy, much like the ruthless tactics employed by Logan Roy. Now, the Pierce family, as depicted in Succession, offers an intriguing mirror to several real-life media dynasties. These families, like the Pierces, have navigated the complexities of power, wealth, and influence while maintaining a veneer of nobility and moral superiority. The Bancroft family, who once wielded control over the esteemed Dow Jones A Company, shares striking resemblances with the Pierces. Notably, the family's reluctance to let go of their prized asset culminated in the eventual sale of Dow Jones to Rupert Murdoch's News Corp in 2007. This transaction parallels the Pierce family's own predicament as they wrestled with the possibility of selling their media empire to the Roys. However, the Pierces are portrayed as staunch Democrats, a stark contrast to the Bancrofts, who were responsible for the conservative-leaning Wall Street Journal editorial page. Despite these differences, the parallels between the two families remain apparent. Moreover, the character of Elizabeth Bancroft Goff closely resembles the real-life Naomi Pierce. This likeness extends from their struggles with substance abuse to their shared physical attributes, such as the blonde bob haircut and tattoos. Both women have also sought help for their issues through rehabilitation programs. In these ways, the fictional Pierce family appears to draw inspiration from multiple real-life media dynasties, merging their histories and characteristics to create a captivating yet familiar narrative. As previously mentioned, the Sulzberger family, with their long-standing stewardship of the New York Times, shares certain traits with the Pierce clan. The Sulzberger family has been publishing the New York Times since Adolph Simon Ochs rescued the paper from bankruptcy. The role of publisher passed to his son-in-law, Arthur Sulzberger, who married Adolph's only daughter, Iphigene Bertha Ochs Sulzberger. It then continued through generations. Although the Sulzberger family has Jewish roots, Sulzberger Jr. was raised Episcopalian, as was his son, Arthur Gregg, or A.G. The fictional Pierces, on the other hand, are unmistakably of what is colloquially called White Anglo-Saxon Protestant or WASP stock, which might suggest that the Sulzbergers were not the sole inspiration for the Pierces. However, their influence is still apparent. The Pierces run the New York Mail, a play on the New York Times, and like the fictional Turnhaven, Arthur Oakes Sulzberger Sr. owned an estate in Southampton and Hillendale, an estate in Connecticut. Even the Sulzbergers' paper itself, the New York Times, acknowledges that the Pierces seem to be a mashup of the Sulzbergers and the Bancrofts. Now, the Graham family, with their storied history of guiding the Washington Post, presents yet another parallel to the Pierces. Catherine Graham, in particular, emerges as a compelling figure in this comparison. As the first female publisher of a major American newspaper, she embodied a unique blend of grit, determination, and grace under pressure that mirrors the strong-willed Pierce women portrayed in succession. The Grahams, like the Pierces, have weathered numerous challenges to their authority and influence, all while maintaining their commitment to journalistic excellence. Last, the Chandler family, who once presided over the Los Angeles Times, is another real-life counterpart to the Pierce dynasty. As with the other families mentioned, the Chandlers were deeply enmeshed in the world of print journalism, having built and sustained a media empire through generations. Their intricate family dynamics, power struggles, and the eventual sale of their flagship newspaper echo the themes and tensions that pervade the narrative of the Pierce family in succession. Now, if you enjoyed this explanation of Succession's real-life old money families, first be sure you're subscribed, because we will be releasing more Succession analyses diving into the characters of the show and their real-life parallels. And secondly, why not next enjoy our video on screen about the old money versus new money dynamics we've mentioned previously? Thank you for watching Old Money Luxury, and Connor Roy was indeed interested in politics from a very young age.